April 25th, 2025. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. What are we going to talk about? Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. We're going to talk about crime. We're going to talk about drugs. We're going to talk about the homeless and some more bikers. Well, where do we begin? I mean, we've had shootings. We've had a car theft out there. Something caught my eye and ear just the day before last. This person had a Corvette that these guys were trying to steal. And I guess Kansas City, Missouri finally come out on it. They didn't steal it the first time. And I guess they told them, said, oh, they won't be back. And about a day or two later, they were right back. And this time, I guess what I understand, they got it. Not good. Now, why wouldn't you post at least one vehicle, one patrol vehicle over in that area, especially if that was going on, even for a week? Man, I mean, hindsight and foresight here in Kansas City, not good. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about, back in the old days, if somebody stole a horse, what happened to them? They either got a whole bunch of lashes or they got hung. And, car thieves, it's not good either. I think the punishment really should fit the crime and something like that. And, if they're stealing $125,000 Corvette and, they're armed, this lady said that there's 4 or 5 guys armed. I was just thinking, those guys, they need to be in prison for a long time. So let's get on with it. We'll talk about my area. Has anything changed? Not really. Last night, some old bikers are running that stuff up 47th Street, and they were back in their convoy where they have their 2 SUVs or 1 SUV. Usually 1 in front, 2 in front, or 1 behind with the old biker. Old habits die hard over here, especially on 40 Highway. And then that's where a lot of this comes from still. It's a lot of cocaine, a lot of guns come in Kansas City from out here on 40 Highway. Anyway, we'll talk about my area for a second here too. I mean, this is my area a little bit, but last night, it hadn't got dark yet, and I was looking down here at this manhole cover down the street. Well, it ain't what really caught my eye. It was a half guy didn't have a shirt on that was sitting on the manhole cover. We're going to show that. Then early this morning, a lot of these homeless have picked up over in this area. Not good. I mean, some of these people steal. Some of them are on drugs. And I noticed when I went out 40 Highway this morning, there was a lot of people walking. This was early, around a little after 6:30, about in that area. And there's one guy comes down the street, hood, white guy, old hood. And guess where he ended up? One of my unfavorite places, Gordman's parking lot. Well, I just had to make sure to see if that was the right guy. And sure enough, it was. I turned in there. I wanted to see. Because I went on down. I had to go down here by Bass Pro. And when I come back, he was over there by Gordman's that building. Now, if these buildings, if that doesn't show you right there what these buildings and this stuff attracts, I mean, nobody in Independence or Kansas City, Missouri is ever going to get it, are they? Because that's what it does attract. It attracts trouble, drugs, prostitution. Not good. And no matter what, it just keeps on thriving over there because it's a place they can go meet up. I noticed there were several other vehicles over there too in the last few days. I mean, there's a lot. They don't stop. They are in a continuous mode here. And I mean, this would be not something that you could actually stop this part of it. And they don't. And then I noticed our guy that's from the pandemic era that lived out of Bass Pro and Waterfall Park, he's parked in the parking lot of where like Hardee's is now. Well, you know why they do that? because then they figure, well, that they can't be touched by the police, but that's not actually so. Because, see, that building was leveled off, okay? And I'm sure it was leveled off because independence, it used to be independence required within, I think it was 90 days. If you had a business and it wasn't sold or it wasn't going to, keep moving, you had to tear that building down. Well, when that pandemic going to come in, it was kind of just everything kind of went to hell, didn't it? It just all, it didn't really matter about all this stuff. But there are still a lot of laws on those books, that say certain things there. And it just amazes me. Some of this stuff, gets enforced and other things don't get enforced. But this guy, he's living out of that parking lot up there. But even so, for that matter, there's a street that goes back there. And where's he dumping his waste at? Where's his urine and poop going? How's that being disposed of properly even? If he's living up there. It's like that Steak and Shake over here, Kansas City, Missouri. That got taken out. I think that was a good thing. Because there was 3 women and a guy or 2 guys that was living up there. In the trash bin, wall around there. So, I'm going to show this real quick. I'll start with yesterday evening, just before dusk, with the guy down here on the manhole cover here in Independence on East 47th Street South. Then I'll show this morning this guy that was in the hoodie going down, and I passed several other ones that were walking on 40 that, I don't know. But I'll show that truck and trailer at Hardee's. And then I'm going to show that guy that was up there close by the Gorman's building. There would be no point to be up in there. I've also noticed some other motorcycles up in there again too. Well, yeah, because see, there's some other stuff. Some of these people come from Kansas and they're dealing drugs. There's some younger guys too that mid-20s, early 30s. They get up with their little cars, race cars and stuff, and do their burnouts. But they don't just do their burnouts. They're dealing drugs over in this area. So they're bringing the stuff from the Kansas side over and then over here in the Missouri side, but nothing gets done. I know this too because way back when I went through a divorce, I went down to this biker bar down here. It's down by the tool shed. It used to be called Doc Holliday's, and a lot of the ones that come from the colleges would come over from the Kansas side, come down over here, and they would party down there at Doc Holliday's. They had some huge bands that would come in and play and stuff. That place would pack it in 300-400 people. But it's interesting that all that stuff, it's like they have to come over and slum on the Missouri side. Is that what the deal is? It shouldn't be about that at all. It should be about stopping the drugs on both sides, the Kansas and Missouri side. But it's just they figure they can get away with it over here on this side. I don't know. I don't get it. So let's get started. All right, guys. So I get up on my porch. This is yesterday evening. And I look down there, past my flags. I fly the Israeli flag. I fly the American flag. But I'll bring this in a little bit closer. Let me see if I can get that. And we got this guy. Now I'll bring another picture in so it's a little bit clearer, but that's a drain sewer manhole cover this guy's down on. I don't even know if he had shoes on or whatever, so hold on. There we go. A lot more clearer now. Now, do you really want these people like that back behind your backyard or in your front yard like this? I don't know. Not good. And then they're always talking about, how Kansas City's supposedly helping these people, how they're doing. How is that helping them? There's some big lies and things that get told here about stuff. There's I think it's a Baptist church off 23rd Street, off Nolan over here, and they hand out food to people, okay? But what's really interesting is I never see Because some of these people, I know them by their face, but other ones, I mean, are just like, you don't know where they've come from, okay? Now this person couldn't see the face. I have no idea who this person was. But what kills me is I've never seen any even of the regulars over at that food place off 23rd. Now I've seen them steal things. I've seen a gal that was stealing a bicycle over here off by over where Harbor Freight, like what am I looking to say? Honey Baked Ham is. One morning, this gal was dragging this bike, with like a tether, kind of like a tow like nylon deal, because somebody had a chain around the wheel and she couldn't push it. She had to drag it. But I'm thinking, I seen later, I seen the bike. They'd got it cut, basically chain off of it, and they were riding it down here off by the McDonald's off 23rd Street in Nolan. They were using it. But I never see any of, so what does that say? Does that say that these people, some of them are bad, they're trouble, and they need to get them help, or they need to see what, kind of reform what they need to do with them. But I don't know. I mean, that's something they need to, like I say, they need to be doing something about this. But like you say, this was yesterday afternoon, and let's show some more here. Hold on. All right, guys. So heading down the street. This was, like I say, around 6:30 a.m. this morning. It was a rough time scale here. This guy, he was out in front, going down in front down here. And some of these, I mean, just, look a little questionable. Now, this guy here, I mean, what if this guy was out in front of the mayor's house, 6:30 a.m. walking down? Now, people walk. Like I say, I know people that go up and down this street. We have one guy that's got autism that goes up and down the street. I know who that guy is. I mean, he just goes up and down. I mean, but he's not dealing drugs or anything like that. But then you got these other ones. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's not good. But this guy's going to end up at Gordman's. We're going to show him later on. So let's go on down. I'm just going to, let's go on down here. And let's see what else we can see here. Might have to go to my next clip here. Let me speed this up just a tad. Back this out. So see, wait a minute. We got one over here walking. Now, this one actually looks like they got some food, okay? Okay, so, some are legit, some are not. But then there's other ones. Let's see here. You can see that. But then we got this one. And this one over here, I don't know. Because there's a big difference when you look at these people, some of them, what they're doing. I mean, if they actually are carrying food or kind of something that looks actually, legit. But if they've been up here by that Gordman's, I don't know. And a lot of stuff being exchanged. And then they run up to 7-Eleven. They go up to 7-Eleven on 40 Highway in Chrysler. Not good, guys. And they run all over. I mean, not just that. They go up into Raytown, up to that other little stop, too, there where I was showing where they were living. I noticed it looks like they've cleaned it up a little bit after that guy was living out of the parking lot up there. I don't know. A lot of activity for around 6 to 6:30 a.m., though, for the homeless. Some of them get moving, but... So hold on just a second. I noticed when I was coming back, that car's been sitting there. I think it had expired temp tags over there by the tool shed. Somebody looked like they put a sticker on, like like a tote or like a ticket or something on it. But nothing been done. It's been sitting there for several weeks. It hasn't even moved. Now, that's supposed to be a street. This is actually supposed to be a street. I think there's a sign there. see. Let's see if I can get, I don't know if I can get that in. Let's see. Well, there's a street sign there. I don't think we can make it out, guys. But you can see the car right there. There's the car, there's a street sign, but I don't know. Let's go on down. See what else we can see. Hold on. All right, guys. And this is up by that Hardee's. And let me bring that in. You see that? There's that truck and trailer. That's 5 years. I mean, it's been, what, 5 years since the pandemic? And nothing's changed. Nothing. This guy was living out of a Walmart, living out of a, like I say, up there at Bass Pro a lot. And this recently was at the entrance of that Waterfall Park there. I know. Back just a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit better. See if I can get this in a little bit clearer for you guys. I don't know if I can do it any better than that, guys. But like I say, I mean, this is Independence. This side's Independence over here. And it becomes a big problem because how are they surviving? How are they living? What are they doing? And not just that, but then how are they disposing of their waste? Where are they peeing? Where are they pooping? Where are they, here you go again too. And are they just dumping it anywhere? I don't know. All right, guys. Well, there's that guy right there. There's a guy who was walking down from my house this morning. And this is over here at that Gordman's parking lot. Isn't that interesting? I don't know. All right, guys. And doesn't this just look ducky here? Look at this stuff. Look at that. Now, why would you want to be over in this area? Just no good here, man. I mean, no good at all. I don't know. But like I say, something needs to be looked at. Still a lot of stuff going on. And these buildings here, oh God, this is just, like I say, these are just magnets for drugs, and more drugs, and for dealing. If anybody wants to deal anything or exchange anything, this parking lot here is the place to do it. This one and the one across over there at Toys R Us on the other side. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up pretty quick. But I don't know. I mean, we all pay taxes here. I mean, I live in Jackson County. I mean, boy, we really got put to us, didn't it? We over in this area. I mean, some of us got double the amount of our taxes. Do you think these people are paying taxes here? I bet they're not. I bet they're not paying any taxes. Mine went from almost $1,000 up to $2,000. Of course, my next door neighbor up here, it's been up here for years too. It's a couple doors up. He thinks it had to do with the stadiums and stuff, but maybe it did. Maybe they figured they could pocket the money, and they figured they'd give them a lot more money. I mean, because every year the taxes on these houses over here went up by about, well, like whatever they do every two is about $40 to $45. That's what they were doing. You go from $40 to $45 every year up to $100,000 jump. But what about these people? And then these are the ones that see they're letting just get away with everything here. That's not right. That's not right in Kansas City. That's not right here in Independence here. Not good at all, guys. There's lots more to talk about too. I got more things coming here. We're going to be talking about and certain things here about Kansas City and Independence. But I wanted to show this real quick. Still a lot of stuff going on. Still a lot of activity. 23rd and 435 has got better. They have been watching. Police have been out more. They are getting some of them. They are checking on some of them. Actually seen Independence check on something over here, Quick Trip, a few days back, and it was a really good thing they were checking, because what they stopped, whether they knew it or not, some of those guys do some bad things. And it brings everything to their attention to know that they can't get away with all of it. But anyway, I won't go there right now. But interesting stuff. So still a lot more to be done here in Kansas City, in Independence, Missouri. Oh, and the zoo's got their new ride open now. You do have to reserve deal. I wasn't really interested. I'm waiting for World's Fun. I'm waiting for the roller coasters, but I think the ride cost $8. And what I understand, it's not going to be hooked to the wrist deals for, like, if you get the full pass for this year, that you're going to have to pay for that ride separately. It's only, I don't know how many, it's not very long, guys, so I don't know. Now, if it had been a zip line, that had a zip line tower, yeah, I would have done it. I would have done it in a minute, but oh my gosh. Anyway, this is Kansas City. This is Independence, Missouri. Keep your eyes open and stay safe out there, guys.